What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for our 5th episode of Divine Journey 2. In this episode, we dive into the Roots mod and build a majority of our Immersive Engineering multi-blocks. Hope you enjoy. Alright guys, let's get right into today's episode. So, as you can see, I have moved all of our storage out of here. We're going to mainly be operating out of our factory now. I also added a little path with lily pads to get through here easier. The trophies are sitting here, and we got our storage here. You see, I crafted up quite a few more of these storage crates from actually additions. These are going to be perfect for keeping our storage going. This one's empty, so it just says coming soon, but I got them all labeled. And in today's episode, the first thing I want to get into is the Nether. So let's go ahead and craft ourselves up a flint and steel. I need one piece of flint. It's going to be in the soft blocks chest. And now we got a flint and steel. Another thing that I wanted to show you that I did in between episodes is I added these fluid trash cans back here. So these can just keep running and the creosote oil is just going to dump into these. We don't really need a whole bunch of creosote right now because we already have, I want to say like 10 stacks of treated wood planks in here. Alright, so the next thing we're going to need to do is get our hands on some obsidian, and we're going to need to figure out where we want to place this portal at. Alright, I think for the time being, we're going to just put all of our portals in our old base. So let's get this area dug out. We're actually going to do a 3x3 portal just to keep this thing symmetrical and hit it. So let's hop right in. Oh, you know what? My chest plate and my legs are about to break, so let's go make up ourselves a new set of armor. So it looks like the best armor that we're going to have access to right now is going to be emerald armor, which is actually pretty solid. It's a little better than diamond. So that should be more than enough to get us started in the Nether. And we're going to set out to go find some cobalt and ardite from Tinker's Construct so that we can finally make ourselves some better tools. These last two can go into the trash can. Now let's hop into the Nether. And we're in. This is a pretty nice looking block. And what do you know? It's basalt. The same block that I've been using for, well, I guess not the exact same block because it's from a different mod, but I was using basalt as the border for our factory. So we got a little bit of glowstone here. We'll harvest this up. And basically I'm just going to run around, try to harvest some ores, find some different resources from the Nether that we're going to need. Alright guys, I'm back from the Nether. We had a few close calls. The only reason I ended up coming back actually was I had to slash home so that I didn't die. But this is our haul. There's a few things not in here. I did end up getting a little over a stack of diamonds from that Nether trip. I put those in our goodies chest. I wanted to stay there until I got a full stack of at least cobalt and ardite, but we came back 3 short on the ardite. The next thing I want to do is start prepping up the smeltery for our new tools. So I'm going to need to go get some more lava, and then I'm going to pick out what our tools are going to be made out of, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so I got my cobalt and ardite processed up. We got nearly 3 stacks of cobalt and nearly 2 stacks of ardite. One thing I needed to do is come on camera real quick and start making our tool forge. This is going to allow us to make a larger variety of tools. So for this, we're going to need 3 seared bricks. And then we're going to need a few blocks of some type of resource. I'm just going to go with iron because I have the most of it. We're going to go like this. And then now we have our tool forge. And that displays a lot larger variety of tools that we're going to be able to make. Now, we have a little bit of aluminum brass sitting here in the smeltery. We're going to need to make ourselves 6 new types of casts. We're going to have the tool rod, the large tool rod, the large blade, the shovel head, the hammer head, and finally the knife blade. Okay, so as you can see, I have a lot of different materials here in my inventory. We're going to make a pickaxe, another mattock, a shovel, a hammer, a katana, and a shuriken. So let's get started smelting some of this stuff down and casting it out. So while that stuff's smelting down, we're going to go ahead and make a few of our other parts that we can just make in the regular part crafter. So we're going to need 1 tough binding made out of prosperity shard, 2 regular bindings. Then we're going to need a prosperity shard large plate, and then 2 different types of knife blades. So one of these knife blades is going to be made out of bone, the other one's going to be made out of cactus. And I can just throw all of these in here. And let's go cast out the rest of these materials. So we should have a little bit of cobalt in here and a little bit of ardite. Well, I guess the ardite would have combined to make manualum now. So for the cobalt, we're going to cast all of these, and then the shovel head we're going to do twice. So give that just a second to cool. And then we're going to cast out our second shovel head, just like that. I can collect these. Then I want to throw down my large blade and my knife. And then we should just have manualum in here now. So we're going to cast 1 of each of these with manualum. Okay, the nickel's ready, so we're going to cast 1 more large blade and 1 more knife blade from nickel. Then we're going to need to get a little bit more ardite. It's going to be 8 of those. I didn't mean to combine that together. I'll throw that in there to make ourselves a large plate out of ardite. We're done with the knife blade cast. We're almost done with that one as well. Then we're going to need 6 osmium for tool rods and tough tool rods. So we can go ahead and throw that in there. And we're also going to need 3 emeralds. Okay, our osmium is done. So this is the tough tool rod. We're going to need 1 of those. And then we're going to need 3 regular osmium tool rods. 1, 2, 3. That should have us set there. Our ardite's done, so we can cast that into the large plate. I'm back after having slept. Our ardite large plate just finished up, so we're done with this one now. And then the emerald is almost finished. Oh, and I do need the tough tool rod cast for that one. And then we can cast that into the tough tool rod. It should be 3 emeralds to make that. Okay, we should now have all of our parts made, so it is time to start assembling. For our pickaxe, we're going to need the osmium tool rod, the cobalt pickaxe head, and a prosperity shard binding. Okay, there's our pickaxe. We can also go ahead and make our shuriken, which does 5.34 attack damage, and it says it has 26 ammo. Then we can make our katana. The katana is going to go manualum blade with a nickel blade, the emerald tough tool rod, and then the prosperity shard. And that's going to give us 5.76 attack with a 2.55 attack speed. So we'll take that. Then we're going to need to make ourselves a hammer. The hammer is going to go cobalt head, prosperity shard plate, and ardite plate with an osmium tool rod. Okay. Then the last two things we're going to need to make are the mattock, which is going to need one of these, one of these, and one of these. And then the shovel. Okay, so let's clear out some inventory space. This is how we're going to kind of lay these out for the time being. If we end up going into the mine or something, we can swap our hammer down here. All this hammer does is it works like a pickaxe, but it can break a 3x3 area instead of just a 1x1. So that's going to be super useful for us when we go mining. The shuriken we can throw like that and then go pick up the extra knives from it, or the extra blades, however you want to look at it. These two stone tools are trash now. And let's start adding some modifiers to these things. First modifier I want to add is a diamond to each one. That's going to greatly increase the durability as well as the attack damage and the mining speed. So there's that. Here's our mattock, the shovel, the shuriken, and then the hammer. Okay, now for my pickaxe, my sword, and my shuriken, I'm going to want to add some luck to it. That's just going to be lapis. So this is going to act like fortune for the pickaxe and then like looting for the weapons. So we're going to go ahead and add that to it. Does that max it out at fortune 3? It does not. That'll max it out at fortune 3. Then we'll get the sword in here. And we are short on lapis, so let me go pick up some more of that real quick. Alright, I'm back from the Nether. I got myself up a bit more lapis, so that finishes off the sword. And then the last one to do is the shuriken. Okay, and that's going to take it to luck 3. Perfect. Okay, for now the last modifier I want to add is a level of sharpness to my sword. That's going to take it from 6.5 attack to 8.48 attack. The next thing I want to get into is the roots mod. So we're going to clear out a little cave. I think it'd be cool to have this mod centered around a little cave right here. So I'm going to clear that out and make me a little path going up to it, and I'll be back with you momentarily. Alright. Ow. This copper wire is a little dangerous if you get too close. I got us a little cave added in over here. And since I had to dig back the dirt a little bit, I added a little retaining wall. I think it looks nice. I think it makes the build really flow. And then I think we're going to dig our new mine shaft back here. But this is our roots cave. We may have to end up expanding it. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how much space this mod actually takes up. But let's get crafting some of this and we'll find out. Alright, first two things we're going to need from this mod are the Root of the Fallen and a iron knife. Now this Root of the Fallen is going to complete the very first quest for us, which is going to allow us to get the Magic of the Wilds book, which is just the guidebook for the mod. So we can go ahead and combine that with our Akashic Tome, just like this. And then from here we can access the Magic of the Wilds book. So there's 8 different categories in this mod. Let's start working through these and getting some of these crafts done. So I placed down some of the moss that we have. This is what we need the knife for. We can come through and right click on this, and that's going to give us Terra moss. Let's go ahead and get up 32 of these. That also completes the second quest for us, which gives us 12 extra Terra spores. Next, we're going to need a little bit of bark. To get bark, all we got to do is break trees down with our knife. Now that we got our bark, our Root of the Fallen, and our Terra moss, we can craft ourselves up a pyre. That gives us another trophy, so let's throw this out here. The first 3 trophies of the pack. I think that's pretty cool. Let's plop our pyre down right here. So the first thing we're going to need to craft is some charged stone. We're going to need 3 stone, 1 bark, and 1 Terra moss. And then we light it with the flint and steel. Sneak right click with an empty hand to repeat craft. Okay, so we're going to wait for this to finish up. It should just pop right out the top. Perfect, we got ourselves 3 charged stone. That's going to complete the quest. And I'm going to do this a couple more times. Now we need to craft ourselves a grove stone and do the grove stone ritual. We're also going to need a mortar and pestle, but I'm going to need a little bit of paper. There's a little bit of paper. So we can craft our mortar. Then we can craft our pestle. Just like so. We're going to run back over to our cave. I'm going to plop the mortar down right here. And I need a few flowers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to go up to the mortar and throw all 4 of these flowers in, just like this. Right click with the pestle. That's going to give us petals. Next, we're going to plop our grove stone down right behind the pyre. Next, we're going to need to do the grove supplication ritual. So we're going to need a moss stone, a root of the fallen, some petals, some red cedar saplings, and an eagle feather. And we hit that with the flint and steel. That's going to take 5 seconds to complete. And you just saw our grove stone transform. By default, this thing makes grass and flowers everywhere, but that was disabled in this pack. Now we need to craft ourselves up a Fey Crafter. So we're going to need 2 blocks of amethyst. And then we can craft the Fey Crafter just like this. We can plop the Fey Crafter down right here. So our first recipe with the Fey Crafter, which is my goal of getting into roots today, is to get this elemental soil. And that's going to need bone blocks, compressed dirt blocks, and compressed gravel blocks. We have a lot of dirt. Gravel's going to be a little bit of an issue, but not too bad. The biggest issue is going to be these bone blocks. And it appears that the best way to get these is going to be from gathering bone blocks in the Nether and then crafting it. So let me hop over into the Nether and see if I can find some of these real quick. Alright, I found some bone blocks in the Nether. I'm going to collect up a bunch of these. So we're going to craft all of these down into 4 stacks of bone blocks. And then we can get ourselves a full stack of compressed gravel, a full stack of compressed dirt, gathering up a full stack of Terra moss. Finally is our petals. And we can come over here to the Fey Crafter. We can throw our petals, our moss, our bone blocks are compressed, and then our compressed, and that's going to turn into 4 elemental soil for each craft. Then we just need our knife, and we right click on here. And we got 4 stacks of elemental soil now. The reason we need this elemental soil is because it can be used to make these 4 types of soil, which all have their own benefits. The aqueous soil automatically harvests. The magmatic soil cooks some of the drops. The terran soil increases the yield of plants grown on it, and the salic soil increases the rate at which plants grow. So let's go ahead and complete that quest. First we throw 4 elemental soil into some water. That turns it into the aqueous soil. Next we got to be above Y90 and throw it on the ground with sky access. It's going to turn into the salic soil. Next we got to throw it on the ground below Y30 with no sky access. That's going to give us the terran soil. And finally we can throw, let me check this quest real quick because I don't want to do this one wrong. We got to throw it in lava. Oh, there's a zombie after us. Let's deal with this guy. Okay. Let me section off a little section of this lava real quick. We're gonna just do it like this. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gives us the magmatic soil. Now, I want to get back into immersive engineering. And to do that, we're gonna need we need to turn our blast furnaces into reinforced blast furnaces. First thing we're gonna have to do to get this done is we're gonna have to process up 27 steel plates and 50 iron plates. Technically, we only need 5 iron plates, but I'm going to make up some extra hoppers for some other things. Then we can bust down one of these blast furnaces. We're going to come over to our crafting table, craft these blast bricks with the steel plates, and that's going to give us reinforced blast bricks. Then we're going to need ourselves some chests. Really just one for now, but once I get the rest of these iron plates done, I'm going to be using those too. And now we have a hopper to complete the quest for us. And I believe 2 blocks in between these is enough space, but it may not be. We're just going to have to play around with it and find out. So the hopper goes right here on top in the middle. We build the blast furnace the same way, it just has a hopper in the top in the middle. And then we need our engineer's hammer, and we can make ourselves a improved blast furnace. The rest of these iron plates I want to use to make hoppers. It's going to make this process here just a little bit easier. I believe, not there. I believe we can put it down here at the base. Okay, no, it does have to go up 1 block. It's a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Then that's going to automatically feed into there. Then we can throw a chest here and another hopper here. And that's just going to automate that process for us instead of me having to stand here and pick them up the whole time. Now we need to get into the blast furnace preheaters. These aren't too expensive, so let's get crafting this up. So I'm going to start up 32 iron plates. Also going to need to process up 64 iron plates. With our 32 iron plates, we can craft up 32 sheet metal. I'm also going to get up 32 electrum plates processing. We're going to throw our 32 electrum plates over here to be processed into wires. I'm also going to use one of these chests to crate upgrades that I got so that I can make myself another storage crate. And this storage crate is going to be for roots materials. Copper plates can now go into the wire press. Then with these sticks we can make ourselves some more MV wires. Now with a little bit of steel, iron, and terracotta, I can craft myself up probably 3 more MV relays. We're going to use this back here. So we have one there. We'll place one here and connect that up. Then we can go one here. Connect this one up. You don't want to place them too far away because the further you place it, the more the wire is going to droop and the more likely you are to kill yourself. Then I'm going to come back here, probably in line with this, and place the next one. Okay, okay. Yeah, I can't even hit the wire here, so we're good. And then I want to craft myself up one more of these, just like this. And I'm going to place that back behind this, maybe. Hopefully that should work. Then I'm going to need 2 MV wire connectors. And our wires should be nearly done. I think we got like, yeah, one more in here to process up. So we're going to give this just a second longer. Alright, that's the last one. We're going to bring these over here with our sticks. Make some LV wire coils. Then we can make ourselves 4 copper coil blocks. And I'm going to go with, I need more steel. Hopefully this has a little bit in it. It does, okay. I'm going to need to make up one more of these for the time being. I was preparing to craft both of these up into improved blast furnaces, but knowing how fast an improved blast furnace is, we may not need to. So let's just try it with one for now. So, nope. Okay, that's connected to the side there. That's connected to the side there. I'm gonna need a couple of blocks to stand on. Then my MV connectors go here and here. Then I can connect these up from this relay, just like this. And that's gonna greatly improve the rate at which the blast furnace processes into steel. So this still isn't going quite as fast as I'd like it to. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade the second blast furnace as well. It's the same process as the first time around. And now this one has increased rates as well. Then we can just throw some iron and some charcoal in there and get it running. Now we're going to want to get started on our crusher for mechanism. We're going to need all these materials you see on the right side here. So let's get started crafting those up. We're going to need 45 iron plates for the hoppers. We're going to need another 40 iron plates for additional crafting components. 26 steel rods. Here's our hoppers. 11 copper plates. We need 8 steel fences. I just went ahead and crafted up 9 because they craft in recipes of 3. We're going to need 20 iron mechanical components. Then we need 10 light engineering blocks, 4 conductive plates, 1 redstone engineering block, 10 steel scaffolding. Alright, our quest is complete. Now let's pull out our manual and see how to build this thing. So this is how we craft this thing in the world, since it's a multi-block structure. It tells us the materials required right here. We have all of those, and you can actually click through it and see all the different layers as you build it. So let's get started on this thing right now. The first layer is going to be 3 light, and then the scaffolding surrounding 2 more light. I want to hit F3 and G just to make sure we're not building on a chunk border. So we're going to go 1 block away from the chunk border. We'll get rid of this. Then we're going to go with our steel scaffolding here, just like this. We go with 2 more light there. Then the next layer is going to be 3 light steel, I can't remember what they're called, steel fences surrounding 1 light. So we go 3 light steel fences surrounding this 1 light. And then the last 2 blocks on this one are going to be this one and this one. Then the last layer is going to be our 9 hoppers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we need our engineer's hammer. And I'm not sure which block that one works. So now we have this built. Next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to get ourselves a couple more, or I guess 1 MV wire relay and 1 MV wire connector. We can place the relay right there. Hook that up to the last relay. Then I'm actually going to kind of hop up on top of this thing like this so we can place the connector in the right spot and then hook that right up, and it filled with power almost instantly. So the first thing the quest book wants us to get from this crusher is 36 coke dust. We're just going to make a whole stack. So we'll throw that in there and it's going to slowly spit it out here. And I believe we can actually take a chest and place it here and it'll automatically filter into that chest. So I'm sure you can tell already, but this thing is super loud and we don't want to be listening to this the whole time. So we can take this super sound muffler that we got from the quest book and place it right here on front. And you can actually whitelist certain things and increase or decrease the range. But just by default, it's quieting it up a lot for us, so we'll rock with this for now. Alright, our 64 coke dust is done. That's going to complete the quest for us, and it's going to want us to next make a squeezer. We're going to need 5 iron plates, 14 steel rods, 1 iron rod, 1 piston, 4 wooden barrels, 3 steel fences, 6 steel scaffolding, 3 copper plates, 4 conductive plates, 1 redstone engineering block, and 2 light engineering blocks. Alright, I got the squeezer pulled up in the manual here, so we're going to go 1 light, 2 steel, 4 steel, and then 2 pipes. So we'll go 2 blocks apart from this. No, we'll go 3. 1 light, 2 steel, 4 steel, and then our 2 fluid pipes. Then we're going to need to go with a redstone, a light, and 4 barrels. Redstone, light, 1, 2, 3, 4 barrels. And then lastly, we're going to need our piston here and our 3 fences. Then we're going to need the engineer's hammer to, oh, I guess we don't need to rotate that piston in the right direction. But now we have our squeezer. Now that we got our squeezer up, it wants us to make some hop graphite dust. That is made in the squeezer with the coke dust we just got from there. So let's throw this coke dust in here and see how this thing does. Okay, it's squeezing. And now we have 8 hop graphite dust. That's going to complete the quest for us. So I just noticed that this hop graphite has a byproduct of seared stone. And seared stone just isn't something that we need anymore. So I'm going to make a fluid trash can and see if we can get rid of this stuff. Here's our fluid trash can. So the manual says that the orange dots should work as outputs. So one of these is going to be the fluid output. It's that one, and we don't even need the servo on this, so we can just trash all of that. We're going to pick this stuff back up and work on the next quest, which I believe is seed oil. So to get plant oil, we're just going to need seeds inside the squeezer. We can do that. We have a bunch of seeds stored up in our farming chest. Let's see, here we go. I'll just grab 9 of these and craft them down into seeds for now. I'm not sure how much of this we're going to need, but for the quest it only calls for a bucket. Alright, all of our seeds have been processed into plant oil. Let's go ahead and grab us a bucket of that and get this quest done and check out the next one. So the next one it wants us to go to is refine and overcome. But before we can get to refine and overcome, it requires bad smelling alcohol thingy. And before we can get to that, we're going to need to complete this is how wine is made. And this is going to want us to make a fermenter, so let's get started on that. We're going to need 36 iron plates, 3 copper plates, 12 steel rods, 4 conductive plates, 6 steel scaffolding, 1 redstone engineering block, 2 light engineering blocks, and 4 cauldrons. Alright, I have the fermenter pulled up here. So the bottom layer is going to be the exact same as our squeezer. We're going to go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I need my 2 fluid pipes. Okay, Next layer is going to be also the same as the squeezer except cauldrons instead. So we'll go with that there, and the cauldrons. And then the final layer is going to be our 4 iron sheet metal, just like this. Then I need my engineer's hammer, which block, that block. Okay, now we need to make ethanol by throwing some type of crop into here. So let's see what kind of crops we have in our farming chest. We have the most abundance of wheat, so we'll go with some of that. Throw that in there. With our stack now cooked up, we can throw a bucket in here, pull the ethanol bucket out. That's going to complete the quest for us. And then our next step is going to be to make the refinery. 36 iron plates and 32 steel rods. We're also going to need 3 copper plates and 2 electrum plates, 8 steel plates, 16 sheet metal, 4 iron mechanical components, 2 light engineering blocks, 4 conductive plates, 1 redstone engineering block, 6 fluid pipes, 4 steel mechanical components, 4 pistons, 2 heavy engineering blocks, and 8 steel scaffolding. Alright, I got a refinery pulled up here in the manual. Let's get this thing built. So we're going to need 4 steel with a heavy and a light in between, and then some pipes running down the middle. So we'll go 2 blocks away from here. Go just like this. Then I need my pipes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't need that last one. And then we go with a heavy engineering block on the left, a light engineering block on the right. The next layer is going to be heavy and light in the same place, redstone up front, and then sheet metal. So heavy, light, redstone, and then sheet metal here. Then the top layer is going to be the sheet metal. Then we need our engineer's hammer. And we right click on this guy. It wants us to make biodiesel. To make biodiesel, we're going to need to combine plant oil and ethanol in here. So let's open this guy up. We can throw our plant oil in the left, our ethanol on the right, and it is making biodiesel for us. Then we can take a bucket, pull that biodiesel out, and that's going to complete the quest for us. Next thing we can do is start getting into mechanism. So we can craft ourselves some energized osmium with osmium around the biodiesel, just like that. Then we can check the quest book. That should complete that quest for us. And then we have one more quest called Into Applied Energistics, which needs 1 more bucket of biodiesel surrounded by Certus quartz. Then I can take the biodiesel and craft it with this, just like so. And that's going to complete the last quest for us. And that opens up the, which chapters does this open up? This opens up chapter 6 called Mechanized. And that has mechanism and applied energistics in it for us. So we're probably going to try to get into applied energistics next episode. But for now, this is where we're going to end the episode. We got a lot done today, got a lot of machines built. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to drop down, leave a like, and subscribe. And goodbye.